Hi, I'm Lisa Hayden with Community Focus on Washington County, Central Kentucky TV, Channel 6. We are happy today to have as our first guest Mark Hale, the EMS Director in Washington County. I suppose that would be the Emergency Medical Services Director.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
That is the medical part of it. It's not the rescue, it's the medical part.
Right.
Ambulance service.
Welcome, Mark. So speaking of that, we just, I think it's good that you're on here and we can discuss what Emergency Medical Services does.
Our main job is to answer all 911 calls that has a medical need, which we also respond with the fire departments and the rescue squads on any type of, we respond to about every run, almost. But as far as, we do a lot of transfers, medical transfers out of the nursing homes, to doctor's appointments or whatever, if they're scheduled runs. But our main focus is the 911 calls that comes in, any medical necessity.
So now so all a person has to do is just call 911 to get, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Any 911 call we have to answer and respond to. Some of them are not emergencies, but we still have to respond to.
Oh, is that right? So you have to go to the scene and make the determination when you get there.
Yes, because I really don't know how to answer that, because if they call 911, it's probably an emergency to them, and we respond if it's a 911 call. But as far as somebody just calling in and say, well, you want us to come out here and check this patient out, yes, we'll go out and check the patients out. And we do not transport every patient that we go out and check, because a lot of times they'll go, instead of them getting a high price ambulance bill, they can go for POV and go see their own doctors.
They can go by
their personal vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay, you know how those acronyms are.
I know I
So then if someone, so you respond to this call and you determine that the person has to go to the hospital, where, I've always heard a different, what hospital they have to, do they go to the closest hospital? How does that work?
It depends on how serious the run is, because we're not a hospital in the back of the truck. So, I mean, if it's somebody that's really, I don't want to use, that is in dire need, that's, their lifespan is getting short, we take them to the closest facility and get them stabilized, then we'll transfer them on to wherever they go to. But the state law and the protocols now call, we can take them to the most appropriate hospital for what type of run they're on.
I thought that had changed to some degree. So,
but we cannot drive past hospitals.
You what?
We cannot drive past hospitals, but
you can't drive past them.
If it's a true emergency, we really need to go to the closest hospital, because we cannot drive past them. Because if something was to happen, if we was transporting them on, then we would be liable.
You'd be held liable.
Right. We're not doctors. We're just paramedics and EMTs that's on the truck.
Yeah.
And
now, and speaking of that, so a person that's on the truck, on the emergency vehicle, is a paramedic, or is it sometimes a paramedic, or what do we have in Washington County in regard to paramedics?
We always have a paramedic on duty, 24/7.
Okay.
We like to keep 2 paramedics on duty 24/7, but we're short-handed. We cannot find paramedics to work at the moment, so one truck most time is a basic truck, another truck is a ALS truck, advanced life support truck. No one's a basic truck, which the EMTs can handle 90% of the emergency runs. But that's when they'll take them to the closest appropriate facility.
So, so in this county we have 3 vehicles.
We have 2 that's staffed every day.
I see.
We have 4.
4 vehicles?
4 vehicles.
For the county. And the city and the county. And do they, okay, so one is a advanced life support vehicle?
Yes, 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
And one is always either, could be advanced truck or it could be a basic truck, a basic life support truck.
Because we do have 2 of those advanced life support trucks in the
All
county?
4 of them are stocked for
Oh.
8. Because if we need a third truck and I can get a paramedic to come in or myself to come in to cover the third truck, we do. That's how come all 4 of the trucks are stocked, ready to roll at any time. So it depends on who I can find to come in to cover a third truck real quick.
Uh-huh.
If we have to make the third round, if both trucks are out.
So normally
And
you
that
have
happens.
2 on duty.
We have 2 on duty,
And
24/7.
24/7, and then the other 2 are like
Backup trucks.
backup. Okay, so, and you say that they all have advanced life support on them?
They have all the equipment,
All the equipment?
yes, and the drugs that we need
Okay.
to make them.
So is there a difference between,
EMT is some things drugs a paramedic can use that an EMT cannot. So, but all trucks are stocked. They all
see.
they all have monitors, heart monitors on them. So, whichever truck need to jump, they're ready to go.
so, okay, so if you have the advanced truck, the advanced medical truck, but you don't have, and so it has all the equipment on there, but a EMT cannot administer some of those advanced medical
Yes.
equipment.
Right. It's
So,
some cardiac drugs they cannot use. The narcotics they cannot use.
I see. So, okay, so then you also, I know, like you said, are making runs to the, I mean, you take a person from the nursing home to the hospital, I know, is a routine kind of thing. You probably do that almost daily.
Pretty much so. That is probably 20% of our runs. So.
So, and is that an extra vehicle? So you always have 2 in the county at the, and
No.
then, okay, so if one is on the way, taking a patient from Springfield Nursing and Rehab to Louisville or something, then we would only have 1 in the county on
Yes.
at the time.
And that's when, if that truck gets knocked out, then that's when we try to find a third truck to come in to cover us, to cover the county. Or we have a mutual aid agreement with all the surrounding counties. Marion County covers, and we do the same for them. If both their trucks are out, we have gone over into Marion County and make runs. It's just a mutual aid agreement between all the counties. Every county has got mutual aid agreements, and that's one of the state requirements.
Well, that's a good thing. So, then how many, and of course, you all cover the whole county, so that's quite, quite a big area, especially if you were to have a wreck at one time and then something,
We
then
have
you'd have
had
to call in more trucks or back up from another county.
We've been fortunate, I don't know, but 4 or 5 times that we've had all 4 trucks out running at the same time. And when that works the best is in the mornings when shifts are changing, when the new crew's coming on, because you have the manpower there to get all 4 trucks staffed and go out on runs.
So do you keep, like, I know, of course, we have the station, the EMS station on Armory Hill. Do we keep some out in the county as well?
No, not no more. Used to have one I would keep based in Wolfsburg, because I actually lived out that way. And it was 3 or 4 that worked here that was EMTs out that way, so we could get a truck. If we need to cover a third truck, it wouldn't take us but a few minutes to get to a truck. But now, since we've redone Armour, we got a place that we can put all of our trucks inside.
Well, that's nice, isn't
And
it?
so we just keep them all here.
Yeah.
People just respond to this station.
Yeah, so all 4 trucks are kept inside at the station up here on Armory Hill.
Yes.
So then, now, if there is a fire somewhere, do you all always go out with the fire trucks as well?
Any structure fire we do, and any fire, because we try to take care of your sister apartments, because on a fire, you know, people gets hot. Well, firefighter can get hot, go down. And we have responded to a house fire or something. Someone that was at the house has been burnt. So we generally, they just page us at the same time they're paging the fire departments. So they'll page the fire departments first because that's more their run, but then we'll go just for backup to help them.
So, are there other kinds of calls that you respond to as well? I mean, you were saying something about the rescue. I mean, explain that. I know there's a rescue squad director, correct?
Yes.
Okay, now that is Kevin.
No,
I mean,
Joe Carpenter.
Joe Carpenter is the rescue squad director.
They respond to it. Any type of wrecks that's going to take extra manpower or somebody that they carry the equipment that we do not carry on the ambulance, extraction equipment.
In case someone's can't get out of the car and they have to cut them out.
Or any type of building collapses, which the fire department and rescues both respond to them because they carry. They carry the equipment. We don't have enough room on the ambulance to pack all that.
Yeah.
So
okay.
They carry the jaws, the spreaders,
jaws of life, and all of those things.
And they do all our extrication for us, in which you have Wolfsburg and Malfa both have rescue trucks that respond to anything in their territory, anything in Malfa or anything in Wolfsburg. The rescue trucks respond out there with the ambulance.
Okay. They respond with the ambulance.
Yes, if it's a car wreck or something, they respond out with.
So, like, if you all are all tied up, they can respond to a.
They can give first aid until we can get an ambulance there. They cannot transport, but they'll give first aid until we get a truck on scene.
Are they EMSs or what are they?
Each department's got some EMTs on it.
I mean EMSs, EMT, yeah.
Yes.
So, okay. That's an emergency medical technician.
In which a lot of the ones that works for EMS here are on them departments. If they're off duty, they'll respond.
They'll go on the.
They're off duty, but they'll respond
as well
with the rescue squads.
Okay, so on the emergency medical EMS, someone's on call 24 hours a day.
Yes, ma'am.
How many? And so you would have 2 EMSs or
it's 4
in each truck?
Yes, it's 2 personnel to each truck.
2 personnel to each truck.
So it's 4 people that's on duty around the clock.
And what kind of training does an EMT receive?
To become an initial EMT takes approximately 6 months to go through the classroom part. And they had to do a little bit of field, I guess you call it internship. Then a paramedic takes about 2.5 years to complete that program, in which anymore.
Is that full-time? Full-time training, I guess, in the EMS too?
The paramedic program is. It's more strenuous. It is. You have almost the same training that a nurse has. So, and it used to you could do your own classes, but the state's changed the rules now. So, all paramedics got to go through a college accredited program. So.
I see.
And that's why we have a shortage of paramedics at the moment.
Is that a new law, just recent, or?
It's probably 3 or 4 years old, but it's the trickle-down effect is starting to catch up.
Starting to feel that?
Yes. And eventually I hope it changes and enough people will start going through the paramedic program that will have enough field staff. Every service is shorthanded anymore.
Really?
We're short probably 2 or 3 paramedics up here. I know Marion County's short a couple. Nelson County's short 3 or 4. Louisville Metro, they was on the news the other night, and I think they're short like 20-something. So it's just hard to get the people to do it.
Well, it seems like that everybody's needing employees. If you just drive down the street, I mean, there's signs up everywhere, people needing workers. So when people say we don't have any jobs, I have to disagree.
Most people can find a job if they want it to work.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of jobs around here. I know, the factories. And so a paramedic, they're required to get over two and a half years of
It
training?
takes approximately probably 2.5 years to complete a program.
So they have to go to a college
Yes.
to do that. And where is that?
It's not
closest?
before. It's in Kentucky right at the moment. Eastern Kentucky's got one, which Western Kentucky had a program, and they've shut their program down. St. Catherine had a program going on here, but since it's shut down, which Campbellsville is at the moment trying to get a program up and running. That's what we've been attending meetings here lately, trying to help them to get their program up and get a credit so they can start doing paramedic classes, which that would be a great help.
That would be a great help.
It's one in Lexington. It's a private-owned service in Lexington that does paramedic programs. And then the other one is up in northern Kentucky. It's a KTCS.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And you used to have several paramedic programs going on, probably 15, 20 across the state at all times. But now, when you're down to 4.
Wonder about our KCTC campus.
We're kind of looking into
discussing that as well. That'd be nice right here.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
One or two said they've been out to talk to them, the ones that kind of top these programs. And I have not met with them in the last week or so to see how that went. I wish it would go here.
Yeah.
Be good for everybody.
Yeah.
Be good for the county. Also be good for me.
Well, I guess so. Because you're too short right now.
Yes.
And then you can use EMTs as well? You
Yes,
need
we
those?
use a lot of part-time EMTs.
I see. And so, but if they are to come and be on duty, then, they're on duty for 24 hours.
Yes.
And that would be like, if they're part-time, what would that be? Two 24-hour periods per week or something? Or they could do the
full-time
weekend?
people has 2 24-hour shifts. Then every third week they end up with a 72-hour week. But where we're short-handed right now, don't have the part-time people to fill their hose. I mean, if somebody wants to take some vacation time, it's hard for them to get off. So either a paramedic's going to have to stay over and they'll split shifts or whatever to cover. So the other paramedic can get time off.
Yeah. So in other words, you're paying overtime.
Yes.
Whoa. That's always a problem, isn't it? I mean,
it creates a problem in the long
we've
run.
had to do that, in other areas within the city and county government at times, and simply because of the lack of staff. Yeah.
And that's causing a problem for us.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate in the last month or two that got a couple new EMTs to come on and work here part-time, which has helped relieve some of that problem on the EMT side, but on the paramedic side, we're still short-handed.
So now if an EMT wanted to come and work part-time, what would their hours be? I mean, they could do one 24-hour shift per week, or how would they do that?
It's whenever we have openings. It's not no set schedule. But if somebody's wanting to take
you could try to work around their schedule and your schedule.
We try to work, yes. We try to work around their schedule. Because we have 2 or 3 that works here part-time, but they got other full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So we try to work around
that.
their schedule.
Yeah, yeah.
And most of my full-time people goes along good with them. I mean, if they need to take off a day in the middle of the week, they will. Let a part-time person work.
So you have 8 full-time, or how many full-time personnel do you have?
13 counting myself.
Uh-huh.
So we have 12 full-time people.
12, and half of those,
5 of them are paramedics.
And then the other 7
are EMTs. Then we'll have...
You're a paramedic too.
Yes, that's including me.
Yeah.
So I have 4 paramedics that's riding the truck every day, or their shifts. Then I have 1 part-time paramedic that's works around. We try to work around his schedule some, so he'll come in and work. Then we have 7 of them is full-time EMTs, and I have 6 other part-time EMTs that works.
Oh, okay. So you have 7 full-time EMTs, and so that way you can keep 2 on.
2 on.
1 on each truck.
And it's very few days that don't go by that you don't have to call in a 3rd truck. And I'm fortunate enough to have some that works around here at town that they can leave their other jobs, come in to cover a truck.
Wow. Now that's good, isn't it?
That helps a lot.
Yeah. Well, I know some of the firemen too are
EMT.
EMTs.
I know.
And then you have the rescue squad,
The
some of them
EMTs.
EMTs.
A lot of people in this county plays dual roles.
Yeah.
And it creates a problem sometimes because if I'm needing people
You
on the
might-
truck and it's a bad wreck, but then you're all there to do the same job, so
Yeah.
they'll kind
Yeah.
of, everything kind of works out
Yeah.
in the
yeah.
long run. They'll do what they have to do, then they might get on a truck and go in the hospital with a patient.
Yeah. So now, if there's someone that say that involves water, does well, I guess I'll have to do an interview with Joe on the rescue squad and how you all respond, with if someone's
A water rescue?
a water rescue. Does that involve that's the rescue squad and you all, and
Yes.
there's somebody else? Is there another? Just
They have a dive team
the dive team.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But the dive team is part of the rescue squad, so
okay.
it's pretty much the same people. They just got different roles.
I see. They get
Training.
trained
Yes.
and multitask.
In which, the back up to the training, which the EMTs that works here, they have to have 40 hours of extra training every year, and the paramedics has to have 72, just to keep their certifications up.
Wow.
So we do a lot of in-house training. They all have to go through driver's training class every year. So
And that's a particular training, I guess they have in Frankfurt or somewhere, or
we
drivers-
can actually do it here.
oh,
But a lot of times I'll get other instructors to come in here. They get tired of listening to the same people talk all the time, so we'll get different instructors, and you get different points listening to different people talk or doing your training.
So you're a trainer as well. I mean, you have
Yes.
training certification.
Yes, and several of my EMTs and paramedics, they all got training. They've got
Where
training.
they can train others.
Yes, in certain fields.
I see. Okay. Well, that's good. That's handy. So you don't have to go somewhere
Somewhere,
else. Yeah. I know the fire department does that too. They
Yes,
have, yeah.
and you have, which we do a lot of training in-house, but we'll have, we just done a training Monday, but a doctor from UK come down and done the training for us. Because he's this doctor is actually he is a EMT, works in Tennessee when he goes home, and a firefighter. So and he
Oh
got
my
to do that
gosh.
type of training. So, but he can get it down on our level instead of being but he's the ER doc in UK.
Wow. So that was a good training,
Yes,
I guarantee
it
it.
was.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, so I guess we need to say to our listening audience, maybe there's some people out there that are interested in becoming EMTs and paramedics, or maybe are already trained somewhere and want to come to Washington County.
to work.
Exactly, of course. So, well, I appreciate you being on here, Mark, today. I know you took, and I guess I guess if someone needed to contact you, well, they wouldn't want to call 911 unless it's an emergency.
Right, please don't.
Don't do that. So just call, what's the number to the
To the service is 859-336-5435.
54336-5435.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be in case you're interested, I guess. And
Yes.
you can call Mark Hale, the EMS director here in Washington County.
Or they can go onto the county's fiscal court's website, and all the information is on there.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah. So what is that website? Just you can probably just Google Washington County fiscal.
Yes.
Court
I
or-
don't know off the top of my
Yeah.
head. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's okay because
I got saved in favorites.
It's not hard to find any of those things, Washington County. So fiscal court and county judge, and so yeah. Okay. And one more question on that. Of course, your private insurance pays, and then if you and all types of insurance pay for an emergency run, correct?
Yes.
Your private insurance, Medicaid, Medicare, correct?
Yes, if they're billed right.
If they're billed right. Okay. Okay. And then your funding comes from
Fiscal court.
fiscal court, and then does the city
No, we're
No.
strictly a county service.
county service for the whole county?
Yes.
And that's good. We appreciate that. So, well, thank you very much today for being on here, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully we'll get some calls on this.
I hope so.
Not 911 calls,
Oh,
though.
no. We don't have to advertise for 911 calls.
Yeah,
They
that's
just come
right.
automatic.
Yeah, thanks.